Deputies in Franklin County are looking for a suspect in an armed robbery.
A man arrested earlier this week for assault and cruelty to animal charges says he was drinking whiskey before being sent to jail. What led up to the 911 call coming up.
A tree-killing bacteria is wiping out one of Florida's most famous products.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office is looking for a robber they said wore an unusual disguise.
Deputies say the suspect robbed a gas station over the weekend wearing a white hat, sunglasses, and appeared to be covered in a white substance like paint or powder. The clerk told police the robber pointed a gun at him and demanded money from the register. Sabir Rayford has the latest on this investigation. It's our top story at 5:30.
The Franklin County Sheriff says the robbery happened on Sunday night around 8 o'clock. He says since then they've been looking at security footage trying to piece together who robbed the store. But he says their female suspect might actually be a man.
The clerk is saying that it was a woman. We believe that it is a man that was dressed as a woman as part of his disguise.
The sheriff says the robber also had covered his body in white powder or some kind of paint. In this surveillance video, you can see the robber come into the store and point his gun at the clerk.
The clerk went on to say that the female stated that she would shoot him if he didn't give her the money.
He says the robber was waving his weapon around carelessly. At one point, the clerk told detectives that the man did pull the hammer back on his gun. The sheriff says the robber did get away and headed towards US 27 South.
We have received some leads. And we're following up on those. Detectives are working on those right now as we speak and have been since we made this post last night. It's unclear how much the robber actually got away with, but the sheriff says that they're asking for anyone with information to contact them. In Franklin County, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
Well, the good news, no customers were in the store during that robbery and no one was injured. What started as a report of possible animal abuse led to an Anderson County man facing charges of assault.
Police say that 49-year-old Joseph Snellen told them he had drank a pint of whiskey before arguing with his daughter and girlfriend. Our Caitlin Setner's talked with police on what led up to the arrest.
Some people can handle alcohol, some can't.
Lawrenceburg police are saying alcohol might be to blame for an unusual situation on Melody Lane.
He admitted he had drank approximately a pint of whiskey, and so I'm going to lean towards that being the root cause of everything.
Neighbors say they don't typically hear any commotion coming from the home, but police report hearing quite the ruckus when they responded to the 911 call.
One of the officers received a complaint, an animal cruelty complaint on out in the county just a bit.
Typically, Lawrenceburg Police Department isn't dispatched to this area, but the call led them to Joseph Snellen. They say the 49-year-old was intoxicated and violent.
According to witnesses, he had grabbed the dog by the neck and was slamming his head up against an entertainment center.
The dog, according to its owner, is a PTSD therapy dog. The owner is Snellen's daughter's girlfriend, who told me over the phone Snellen choked both her and his daughter, specifically saying the daughter was turning purple.
When he was confronted about the animal abuse, from what I gather, is when he turned his anger towards the daughter and her girlfriend, assaulted them both by placing his hands around their neck, left marks on one of the victims.
The arrest citation says Snellen's daughter was able to punch him and release his grip. We knocked on his front door for comment but didn't get an answer. In Anderson County, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Snellen was arrested on assault and cruelty to animal charges. He has since been released from jail. Two thieves are behind bars after police say they tried to steal a car with a 3-year-old boy inside. Louisville police say 18-year-old Derek Murphy and a 17-year-old boy stole the car this morning from the parking lot of a convenience store. Police say the two suspects likely didn't realize there was a toddler in the back seat when they took off with the car. They say the two took it while the child's grandmother had been inside the store for less than 30 seconds.
She came over here and play lottery, and she left her baby in the car. And a couple of guys come over across the street and took her car and left.
When the two realized the child was in the car, they dropped him off across the street before eventually leaving the car and taking off, and that's when police caught up with them. Murphy faces multiple charges, including wanton endangerment of a 3-year-old boy. According to police, the 17-year-old charge is tied to another stolen car case in that area.
A Kentucky high school student is accused of trying to attack his principal. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Knott County. The principal at Cordia High School says 19-year-old Brendan Neese was high on prescription pills while at school. Neese was separated from the other students. That's when police say Neese tried to attack the principal, forcing deputies to subdue him.
I got to thinking he could have been my son, so I wanted to protect him too. That was my #1 goal. After making sure everybody was safe, was also his safety.
Neese is in jail today facing several charges. School officials say a juvenile female student ended up at the UK hospital after taking drugs. Officers think Neese gave her the pills. She's expected to be okay. In Harlan County, police are looking for an escaped inmate. Staff at the Harlan County Detention Center say Matthew York walked away from work release this morning. York is a 5 feet 8 inches tall white man and weighs about 200 pounds. He's from Loyal. Officials say York is not considered dangerous, but they are asking anyone who sees him to contact police.
Some gusty winds moving through the bluegrass today, along with a cooler front. I'm not going to say cold because it's not cold. And some scattered showers. Is it okay that I edited copy
There
right
you
now?
go. You know what?
kind of on the fly there, buddy.
How about we call it a normal front? That's what it's going to knock us down to as we go into the day tomorrow. Then it is back up. We go. Changes, though, already showing up, Sam, out there this afternoon. Ahead of that front, we do have clouds that are increasing across especially central Kentucky. So that sunset may be a little kind of shredded or clouded over, if you will. So instead of a fiery sunset like last night, you may see a lot more clouds. It's going to knock the temperatures down a little bit. Winds are gusty. If you're out this evening, temperatures are mild. I mean, we stay low in mid-60s right up through 11 o'clock this evening. Some of us tonight may have to crank up an AC here or there. Clouds are increasing across central Kentucky. Winds are gusting up. Here is your front. Does have a little lightning with it into parts of Illinois right now, crossing into parts of Indiana. And that front is on the move from northwest to southeast. We're on the good side of that. We have warm air across Kentucky. Southern Kentucky made a run at 80. Look at the Great Lakes. It is snowing in Michigan. That's not too far away from us, especially considering that in Kentucky we made a run at 80 and to our north it's snowing. That's a big-time temperature gradient that is setting up over the next several days. And coming up in just a few minutes, I'll show you why I think we're going to be on the warmer side of that gradient more times than not. 7-day forecast has a September flavor as we say hello to November.
State police are warning drivers about an expected increase of deer on the roadways this fall. Police say drivers should be on the lookout for deer this time of year as mating season leads to higher roaming activity across the state. Last year, Kentucky recorded more than 3,200 vehicle deer collisions, an increase of 175 crashes compared to 2014. 3 people were killed and 163 injured.
This could affect what you have for breakfast. Florida's nearly $11 billion citrus industry faces a growing danger from a disease. A tree-killing bacteria is wiping out the state's famous orange groves. 90% are infected, and next year's orange harvest could be one of the lowest on record. Steve Johnson has walked and worked his family's citrus groves since he was a boy.
It's not a job and it's not a business, it's a way of life.
A way of life that's in crisis because of this tiny bug. It carries a disease from China known as greening that appeared in the U.S. in 2005 and is an increasing threat to Florida's entire citrus industry. Profits are razor thin for growers like Johnson.
What's going on in your eyes that I can see?
Well, it's an emotional time. I'm the 4th generation to be here, and to give that up would really hurt me.
This single state produces more oranges than any country in the world except Brazil. But production is plummeting. Consider this, in 2004, the state of Florida produced 240 million boxes of oranges. This season, that number is going to drop to 70 million. And it's because of greening, and that's why researchers are looking at every possible option to try and combat it. Michael Rogers is with the University of Florida's Citrus Education Program.
Growers are still harvesting fruit, but they're not harvesting as much fruit as they used to. They're spending 3 times the money to get that crop, and the crop's much smaller.
Researchers are feeling desperate. This is an expensive grove where mesh netting shields the trees from infection. It's effective but expensive. Many farmers are having a hard time keeping up. There are 130,000 acres of ghost orchards. Those orchards are now abandoned and left to the weeds. So in the coming year, watch to see what this does to the price of orange juice.
UK healthcare receiving millions to turn research into treatments. That story is just under 6 minutes away here on WKYT.
I'm Bill Bryant. Kentucky's U.S. Senate candidates go after young voters, and a new report shows population in the Commonwealth is expected to jump over the next 2 decades. The bottom line is ahead.
Kentucky's race for U.S. Senate is focusing on the youth vote.
And a new report shows a growing population for the bluegrass. Bill Bryant has details in the bottom line.
Good evening. Now that we are inside 2 weeks before the general election, the campaigns are targeting areas where they think they can turn out voters. In Kentucky's U.S. Senate race, incumbent Republican Rand Paul is out in western Kentucky. That has become fertile ground for the GOP in recent years. He's campaigning at Murray State University today, trying to turn up excitement among younger voters there. And his Democratic challenger, Lexington Mayor Jim Gray, is also after the young vote. Gray campaigned at the University of Louisville today. The metro Louisville area is crucial to any Democrats' hopes of capturing a statewide election. On the presidential campaign trail, Donald Trump's campaign manager defending his decision to step off the trail briefly to attend the formal opening of his new luxury hotel near the White House. Trump has said he'll be on Pennsylvania Avenue one way or the other after dedicating the property, which is near the White House. Kellyanne Conway says Trump has had the most active campaign schedule of the two candidates so far. Hillary Clinton, meanwhile, celebrating her 69th birthday today with more campaigning in Florida. Her husband, former President Bill Clinton, stumped across North Carolina. Although coming from different perspectives, both presidential nominees are telling their supporters not to pay too much attention to the polls.
They call them dark polls. They are phony polls put out by phony media.
It's going to be a close election. Pay no attention to the polls. Don't get complacent, because we've got to turn people out.
In this era of social media, some people may want to take pictures of themselves casting their votes on Election Day. The thing is, it's legal in some places and not in others. Kentucky has no law governing selfies at the polling place. Ballot selfies are prohibited in 17 states. Singer Justin Timberlake found out that the hard way in Tennessee, but it appears he won't be prosecuted over it. A new report says Kentucky's population is expected to increase more than 10% between now and 2040, with Jefferson and Fayette counties projected to remain the most populous. Most of the growth is expected to be around urban areas. 79 of the 120 counties are expected to lose population over the period. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
UK's healthcare center has been awarded a nearly $20 million grant focused on turning research into treatments. UK officials, along with Kentucky Representative Andy Barr and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, announced the 4-year grant to the UK Center for Clinical and Translational Science. The center is focused on improving health disparities in Kentucky and Appalachia and has funded 100 science and research infrastructure projects. And this is the second such award for the center, which received a 5-year, $20 million award back in 2011.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Clouds are beginning to increase out there ahead of a cold front that is on the way as we roll our way into Thursday. It doesn't have a ton of cold air behind it. It'll knock temperatures down to normal. It may also give us a little shot of some at least scattered showers. Here's what we are looking at with our Jackson cam, and the fall colors are quickly fading. Boy, this has not been a spectacular fall foliage season, has it? The winds are knocking a lot of those leaves down already. Clouds are thickening in Lexington, and we're going to continue to see the clouds rolling on into town. Some gusty winds. Western Kentucky, we hit 80 this afternoon. We got close into parts of central and southern Kentucky, yet northern parts of the state couldn't get out of the 60s. We've got a warm front that is just to our north, and look at the overcast skies that are streaming in here very quickly as of now. Snowing into parts of Michigan, chilly air coming in behind this front, gusty winds, and a narrow band of some showers and a rumble of thunder to our west. That's why we're not talking about just a ton of rain. So a shower or two around tomorrow. Keep the umbrella to be safe. Not going to rain all the time if it does where you live. Very windy, though. Tomorrow, those gusts 20, 30 miles an hour. Friday morning, there's a small chance for a little frost into eastern Kentucky. Then it turns windy, shocker, and then milder late. This is a very windy pattern. Often this time of year, when you get warm temperatures, you're going to get in on some windy weather, and that's going to be the case as we go into the weekend, too. So at least two fronts will impact our weather between tonight and Sunday. Front number one makes its way quickly through here. Just watch our timeline. Winds tomorrow afternoon become westerly and northwesterly, but you notice the core of the chill is off to our north and northeast. That same front then returns back to the north as a warm front late Friday. So it is late Friday. We could see a nice little temperature gradient. Next little system zips its way across the northern Ohio Valley through the Great Lakes Saturday into Sunday. Saturday is one of those days winds can be screaming out of the southwest. Temperatures make a run into the mid and upper 70s. Now Sunday, you get that front to make its way into the northern and eastern parts of the area. So Sunday, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a 20-degree temperature spread from, let's say, the Ohio River counties into northeastern Kentucky to southern and western parts of the area. Now, that real chill with that particular front is going to head more toward New England. That's been the theme over the past several days for these fronts to basically be deflected with the chillier air to our north. What does that mean for the apparent forecast around here? Well, outside of the normal stuff over the next few days, it is back to above normal this weekend and early next week. Windy and warm, and that isn't necessarily a great combination this time of year, especially with all the leaves that are down. Fall forest fire season, got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, very serious. Boy, the folks out of Keeneland, they've gotten so lucky this meat as it's getting ready to wind down.
About as good as it's ever going to get for a fall meet or any meat.
Absolutely.
Keeneland, huh?
Chris, thank you.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. The collision at Georgetown and Kearney, that's an injury crash now. They've upgraded it, and as a result, we have some lanes closed there. Georgetown and Kearney outbound, it looks like. Drive times to Frankfort, 30 minutes, to Winchester, 27, and we're averaging about 16 minutes to Georgetown now, so looking a little better there. Now back to you in the studio.
Just ahead, Dominique Hawkins is back for his senior season with the Cats.
Well, he is, and he will be fighting to get on the floor, but he is used to that. We will hear from Dominique, and Benny Snell has come in as a freshman and bolstered the Cats' running game. What about keeping him humble? Sports is next on WKYT. One of the big surprises in UK's running game this season has been true freshman Benny Snell. The Westerville, Ohio native leads the Cats with 6 touchdowns on the year. Snell has run for nearly 500 yards through 7 games and is one of the reasons the Wildcats are just 2 wins away from a bowl bid as they head to Missouri this weekend. Eddie Gran, the man running the Kentucky offense, says he has a way of keeping Snell humble.
You can only imagine being a true freshman and everybody patting him on the back and saying, great job, freshman of the week and all that. So it's my job this week. I have been crushing him and bringing him right back down to reality. And we laugh about it and joke about it, but, you know, you got to be careful. You know, you can't ever get bigger than this football team, ever. Nobody can. And he's not. I'm just reminding him.
And it is the Cats and the Tigers from Columbia, Missouri this weekend. Kickoff is set for noon on the SEC network. Dominique Hawkins, one of 3 seniors on John Calipari's roster, and again he will be looking to break into the rotation, playing behind 3 outstanding guards. Dominique played well in last Friday's blue-white game, hitting 7 of 9 shots. He scored 22 points. He knows all about fighting for playing time, and he's enjoying competing in practice.
It's fun in practice. It's a challenge for me. Each player plays different. Fox is really crafty with the ball and so fast with it. In the league, he can just jump over and shoot it over you. And Isaiah he finds ways to get to the basket. I don't understand how he gets there.
What do you think your chances are, Dominique, to break into the rotation?
I feel like I got a really good chance. I just got to keep on competing and come in practice and show Coach Cal that I want to play.
And the first game of the much-anticipated World Series went the way of the Cleveland Indians last night by a score of 6-0. Cleveland pitchers Corey Kluber, Andrew Miller, and Cody Allen were incredible, silencing the Cubs' bats, striking out 15. The Indians also getting 4 RBI from the number 9 hole hitter, Roberto Perez, who hit 2 homers. He had 3 all season.
Right, they pitched really, really well tonight. Kluber was outstanding. up and down the lineup. Overall, I saw a lot of good things among a lot of our hitters tonight. I'm not disappointed by any means, except for the fact we did not win.
That was exciting to watch. Gave us a cushion early, and then late kind of spread it out. In the 7th or 8th inning, that wasn't looking like a 6-0 game.
And game 2 tonight with the first pitch scheduled at 7:08. Right now it is raining in Cleveland. It is expected to stop the temperature 44 degrees. We'll be right back.